Hey everyone, it's Sam Marver, aka the Chumbucky here, and today I'm gonna make a Hoi 4 countries tier list because why not? So to start off, we got our tiers. We got Always a Fun Time. This is a country that you can start with, that you can play all the way through and have a blast with. Pretty fun, which means it requires some more skills. Can be a little frustrating, RNG dependent, but it's still a pretty good time if you want to have a little bit of a challenge. Can be fun means it's a little difficult to get it to be fun, and it's just not there yet. Annoying is just suffering. It's just frustration after frustration after frustration. It sucks to do achievements on stuff like that, and then I'd rather slam my balls in a waffle maker. These countries make me want to slam my balls in a waffle maker. I did steal this tier list from this creator, so go follow him on Twitter. So there might be some countries missing. I was having struggles with mine, but I'm just dumb. So first we got, this is Afghanistan. Solid. I'd rather slam my balls in a waffle maker. As Afghanistan, you have 3 states with like 5 factories. You start with 2, I believe, 1 civilian, 1 military. And yeah, I hope you like sitting there and waiting. It is a blast to just be there and wait. So absolutely a blast if you want to slam your balls in a waffle iron instead of playing the game. Albania is kind of hard to rank because you don't really do a lot. You kind of just get annexed by Italy. You can do some fun stuff, so I'll put it in. It can be fun. It's just a lot of RNG. If sometimes you just get fucked in the butt, and sometimes you like it. But now I believe, yeah, this is Australia. Australia, I'll put in annoying. Australia, the main problem is that you really need Navy to do a lot of different stuff, and your main adversary is going to be Japan. But they don't have a lot of economies, so it's hard to get the Navy started. It's just, you don't get to do anything until 1945, but it can be fun to supply like Commonwealth countries and like build up your little empire. But I'd say annoying. And I mean, I'm just gonna do this right now. I'm gonna put New Zealand there. If I get those wrong, I'm very sorry. They just look very similar to me, but New Zealand's in the same boat, man, except for it's just even rougher. I mean, the focuses are uniquely named, and Australia has some pretty cool sounding and doing focuses. It's just, it takes forever to do anything. Austria, I'll put that pretty fun. Fighting Germany is a little bit of a hassle. Again, you don't really do anything, but if you do get a good game as Austria, you can have a blast just resisting an Anschluss that early, just fucking over Germany. But there's not a lot to do. I'm actually gonna bump them down to can be fun, but Albania. Belgium? I mean, Belgium's pretty fun. They got a good army and a little bit of comedy, some overseas colonies. They really just need a focus tree. That would make them way better. I would have to put them... Because, I mean, you got, like, achievements for them that you can do. So, I feel like can be fun above Albania, but below Austria. Again, you don't really do a lot. I mean, if you don't fall, Germany can never break France. So, I guess there's that. I believe this is Bhutan or Nepal. No, this is Bhutan. Yeah, that's Nepal. Bhutan. I'd rather slam my balls in a waffle iron. I don't think I have to explain why Bhutan would be horrendous to fucking play. They are a single state. They are worse than Tanatuva. Brazil? Oh, Brazil. So, I haven't played a lot of Brazil since the new DLC, but I would say Brazil's always a fun time, even without the DLC, right? Without the DLC, you have free reign of South America, and you can do a lot with that. I'm gonna bump them down to pretty fun, because in that situation, you're going to be treading through a lot of thick jungle. That's honestly not that big of a deal. With the DLC, you get some pretty OP bonuses, get some Wurgles, just a good time. Alright, I'm going to be real with you. I'm not sure which country this is. That's Canada. No, that's Canada. I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna say you're Malaysia. Malaysia is annoying, but worse than these two. Again, you don't do a lot. Okay. I think are you South Africa? I don't see South Africa's flag here. But maybe I'm just dumb. Okay, well, South Africa, I'm going to say you can be fun. High-end can be fun. There's a lot to do. There's some cool achievements. I just can't find... I don't know if that's actually South Africa. I'm bad with my colonies. But yeah, they can do some stuff. They have pretty good economy, pretty good resources. The problem is, it's just... It takes a while for them to do stuff, but when they do get to do stuff, it's pretty fun. Bulgaria is always a fun time. Doing Prussia, the Balkans is a blast. Getting free reign of every Balkan territory under the communist focus tree, that's always a blast. There's so much you can do in Bulgaria. They're in a great position to take over neighbors. They have just great focuses, all that great stuff. Canada, I'm gonna put the low end of pretty fun. Canada, they don't do a lot because they're not usually in direct conflict, but let's say American player and multiplayer goes fascist, you can be a bulwark against them. If you do a historical single player game, you know, you can supply allies, you can be an overseas ally, you can have a large navy. There's fun achievements to do with them, like it's 1812 all over again, take over that US. Yeah, they're in a good spot. I like them. Chile, I'm going to be honest, I haven't played Chile more than once. I've played Chile once, and I mean, I'd say it's pretty fun. The problem is it's just power creep, so I'll put them on the low pretty fun. China. Oh, dude, China is always a fun time. This is where my subjectiveness is coming out. China is in a great spot, right? They have a large for a learner, I should say. They have a large manpower. You start off with a big defensive battle with a large coastline against a powerful enemy. It teaches you how to maximize on your terrain, on supply, how to balance troops on your coastline, how to use allies' territory, how to build up a country when it starts off a little weaker. There's all sorts of strategies you can go for. You can attack the warlords right away, get a bunch of XP, try and reform your army quickly, get a lot of resources. You can build up your army and keep your allies so you don't waste that time. There's just a lot to do with them, and then once you're done, once you beat the Japanese, the world is your oyster at that point, right? You can attack the Soviets, you can march southward, you can build up a navy, you can take India. You have so much manpower and so much room for economy, you can just explode. So always a great time, would love that. Next is Ecuador. I guess they have that one achievement. I'm gonna put them at the bottom of annoying, right? Nope. They're going to, I'd rather slam my balls on a waffle iron. And the reason why is because of the goddamn mountains around them. They have shit tons of mountains, and they are very frustrating to go through and just a horrid time. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. And same with Cuba. Cuba can literally do nothing the whole game. You are going to struggle to make a navy, you're going to struggle to import supplies, you're not going to have enough factories. It's just... I've played one game not one game. I played 3 games in total as Cuba. I went to do a challenge video for one. I did one in a single player, multiplayer game as a joke, and then I went one for single player trying to challenge myself. In none of those did I ever manage to build one single fucking fleet or be able to attack any country till 1945. That is an insane time to wait. Yeah, I had huge stockpiles of stuff. Where am I going to put it, right? Czechoslovakia? Czechoslovakia is pretty fun. The problem with Czechoslovakia, though, is that, like, the initial war with Germany and everything, that is absolutely a blast. Problem comes if you're playing a historical, then you're not going to really have any fights. If you really want to do anything after Germany is gone, it's very expensive because you struggle with manpower. They have some pretty fun focuses, some pretty fun balancing. I really like the way their focus tree is balanced, where you can prepare and get like big bonuses to manpower through the communist tree. Or you can go for the fortified Sudetenland focuses, the economy focuses. I also like how they have the focus, the air or sea, which gives you fire production reduction. Say that 5 times fast. Cost. They're pretty fun, but the problem is that late game they just kind of stagnate, fall off. But you can do some things with them. Denmark, after their update, I find them pretty fun. They're a little harder to play because there's not a lot you can do with them because of the low manpower, but yeah, they're pretty fun. I don't have a lot to say about them, honestly. Ethiopia, this is one I struggle to rank because I find them very fun, but the problem is it's very hard to get a good game with them because you're fighting the Italians right away. In my personal opinion, I would say they're always a fun time. I will always appreciate a good challenge. However, Objective takes over, I'm going to put them in pretty fun. They start in a very hard defensive war, which is always a good learning experience for beginners on how to micromanage your defensive lines when you're kind of moving up in that skill set. They have great focuses for afterward. The thing that sucks is that it just takes a while to get through the war with Italy, despite you being able to max out their war tension. So, they're pretty fun, but I have nothing else really to say about them. Finland is on the same boat as Ethiopia. You know, there's a lot to do after the war, and there's a lot to do before the war. The difference is that you don't have that super hard challenge right away. It comes later. I've always found Finland fun, but it can be a little frustrating when the Soviets just randomly navally invade you. But overall, I'd say they are up there with Ethiopia. Next is France. France is always a fun time. France, you can really react around what your enemies are doing. Like, let's say I'm playing a multiplayer game and there's someone going Germany and someone going France. If I'm the French player and I take the left side of the focuses, which is like the communist route with the democratic, and Germany goes monarchist, right? I can go down the communist tree and fight them, or I can go down the democratic tree with a buddy, right? It opens up a lot of possibilities, and at the end of the day, you can always go down the democratic route if you're not sure what you're doing. That being said, it can be very frustrating to play the monarchist route, for example. It's a lot to get through, and it's a lot to get done before Germany comes. They're in a good defensible position, though, and they're very beginner-friendly in the defensive realm, so I'd say they're always a fun time. Germany is definitely always going to be a fun time, and I'm going to put them at the top. Now, the reason why Germany is always a fun time is that they're a powerhouse, right? They have plenty of options. They have plenty of room to grow. They're a pretty blank slate country. They only start with 30 divisions, a very small navy. They're very easy to mold into what you want. Or if you're a beginner, they have everything you need to get started. The only problems I really find with them is that sometimes the AI can react around you kind of strangely, which can make different games very frustrating. Or when you get late game, you run out of focus as you do, and then you're just kind of sitting there, not moving anywhere, and that can be kind of boring. Overall, they're pretty fun, but they do suffer late game, which is a common trend with older countries, but luckily I think they're going to start updating that a lot more. Another thing is that Germany has like the Wilhelm and democratic paths. If you've never gone them, they're always a fun little switch up there. There's all sorts of cheese you can do with the monarchist path, so you're gonna sit right there at the king spot for like 6 more countries. Next is Greece. Greece is gonna be the high end. It can be fun. Again, they don't do a lot. They have complicated political stuff. I guess my main problem with them is that it feels like there's a lot to do, but you don't have the resources to do it, and a lot of their gameplay is dependent on timing. But overall, I'd say they're a pretty fun time. They're always worth it. You can get some cool achievements with them. You can do some cool cheesy strats. You can get the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire. So very fun, but not the best. Hungary. Hungary is a pretty fun. The main problem with them is that their focus tree is kind of boring, right? You got the Austria-Hungary path, which is really short. You just get claims and war goals for your territories. Or you could go Democratic King, which gives you alliance with the Allies. You can go Fascist King, which just is a shortcut to the fascist path. You can get the Horthy government, which is kind of boring. You can revive the Rome protocols. And again, all these are like 4 or 5 focuses down these trees, right? Their military is just, there's like one path, and that's really good. But they have a lot of room to grow. They have a lot of room to do stuff. They're in a very good medium spot. They're what I consider a major minor. So a minor that has a lot of influence on the game. So I will put them a little bit down. Put them right here. I'll move you up here, and then you can see it. Yep. That looks about right to me. I don't think they really included any of the other different Chinese warlords, but here's this. It's going annoying. They're all a little frustrating to play, but they're not bad, I guess. Like, they have some fun potential, but a lot of them are just in a bad spot. The only one worth running, the only ones worth running are Communist China, which I think is on here. It's not. If it was, I would put it up with the other China, by the way. But yeah, they're boring. Ah, shit. This is where my flag knowledge is really gonna come in handy. You are Iraq. Iraq, honestly, yeah, I'd rather slam my balls in the waffle maker than play Iraq. Again, it's just so boring. And Ireland's gonna go down there. Again, they're so boring. Like, there's just nothing to do. You don't really do anything until 1945, 46. You can fight off the Allies in some focuses, but if you have more than like 10 divisions, the Allies aren't gonna make a move, right? So, like, I guess, but again, it's just not that good. Italy is always a fun time. Honestly, Italy is my top nation right now in terms of fun factor. They did such a great job with the focus tree. The only problem is that the territory mechanic, I think they fixed it recently, but it used to be very frustrating. So Italy, you can do all sorts of stuff. You can do so much stuff with Italy, right? The world is your oyster. You get great bonuses for going through your focus trees, right? I love their bonuses for aircraft. Those are always my fun. You can use them to make such god tier aircraft, right? Fighting Ethiopia is a great thing for starters because you get that early combat in a tough terrain. You gotta really maximize on your close air support and your fighters to really win that fight. They got a sizable navy. They got great navy buffs. They got great territorial expansion. They're so much fun. And if you haven't, I would recommend buying the DLC. If you're on the edge for buying Italy's DLC, Italy is the only reason why I still like play this game. Anytime I'm starting to get frustrated or burnt out, I'll play Italy and I'll have a great time, and it reinvigorates me. Get it? It's good. Japan. I'm gonna put Japan at pretty fun, and this is gonna be probably controversial. I'm gonna put them all the way here. Japan can either be the most fun nation to play or the most frustrating nation to play. If you get bad China RNG, you're screwed. If you get bad timing, you're screwed. Japan, you're in a very good spot. Like, I've had games of Japan. I multiplayer a game where my friend messed up and made France deny the Rhineland, so he went to war with the British and the French. And as Japan, I was able to conquer them right away with my superior navy and my army. They're in a great spot starting. The problem is that after they defeat China, they have really nowhere to go, right? The U.S. is so far away, it's frustrating to invade. If you want to invade Russia, well, you're in Siberia. Frustrating to invade. You want to invade India? Hope you have fun going through all those jungles. Once you take over the Pacific, the game's kind of just a slog. So, they're fun, but eventually they just peak out, and yeah. Alright, we got Latvia. Latvia's gonna go in the pretty fun. You can do some things with Latvia, but eventually it's just gonna delve into fighting the Soviet Union. Again, it's getting hard to say this. They're fun, but they're not too fun. Like, they're fun to do challenges on, they're fun to play once in a while, but they're not a nation you're gonna be going back to consistently. Next we have Liberia, and I'd rather slam my balls in a waffle maker, because I would rather slam my balls in a waffle maker than play Liberia. Lithuania is gonna go in pretty fun again. I mean, they're pretty much just a discount Poland. I mean, you can do some stuff with them, and they have some fun dynamics with Germany and the Soviet Union, but overall, they're not gonna be the best. They're more of an AI nation, but if you haven't given them a try, they're always worth it. You can find them fun. Luxembourg. I'd rather slam my balls in a waffle maker 4 times. Because I have done I've attempted to make 4 challenge videos on Luxembourg, and each one has failed. Now, my strategy is like my basic strategy of Luxembourg. The problem with Luxembourg is that they can just be so easily encircled and killed. It is frustrating, and it's hard, and even those who have done Luxembourg challenges and succeeded, they say it's difficult. They're frustrating to play, but hey, if you're in for some little bit of CBT, go for it. Manchukuo can be fun. They're very RNG dependent on Japan, but if you want to get independent, if you want to stay under them, then what are you doing with your life, man? Like, what are you doing with your life? Manchukuo, I believe? Yeah, I'd rather slam my balls on a waffle iron. You're tiny, you only got like 2 million manpower. Only 2 million population, I should say. So, just not very fun. Mexico is going to go in the lower end of pretty fun. I love Mexico's focus tree. I love all the stuff they can do. I love how you can bring back Trotsky. I love the dynamics of the internal government, the Catholic Church's primacy. The problem is that when you try and fight like the U.S., it's very RNG dependent, right? If you attack early enough further in the Great Depression still, then you have better chances, but you're still left up to the AI's RNG. God forbid a player. When you try and go south, you're going to get hit with mountains, and you're going to get stonewalled. But they can have some good positives. It's fun to invade South America and core everything. So, there's a lot of fun to be had, but again, it's just not going to be the best time. Nepal, I'd rather stick my fucking nuts in a waffle maker, bro. I'd slam that shit down, right? I don't think I need to explain. You're in the mountains. Netherlands is always a fun time. I just smacked my mic. Oh god, I hope it's okay. Okay, it is. I just actually did a game as Netherlands, and you might actually see that as background footage. They're pretty fun. I'm gonna move them down actually. They're pretty fun if you know what you're doing with them. I love going down the tread the narrow path achievement, like quest line. I'm struggling. I like doing their queen. I like doing the monarchist path with them, and the communist path. Those are pretty fun. They get some pretty good advisors too. They have plenty of different options. Like, let's say you're taking over. Well, you got all these different focuses, so you can fight back. If you stay in the mainland, you have all these focuses to build up. They're overall just a fun time. I like their roleplay potential with Germany. Overall, 10 out of 10 nation. I think the thing that just keeps them back is that they do require a higher skill level to be able to actually understand and use them properly. You can't defend your borders as is. You gotta set up here. You gotta understand how to use puppet manpower. But yeah, if you can understand them, it's a blast. And I honestly do recommend watching like a Bear Steel video on them, because you're gonna have a great time. Norway is in the Canby Frontier. I'm gonna put them a little further down. Norway, my problem with them is that it just feels like it takes forever to do anything, and they really, it's just, I find them boring to play. Like, you just run out of stuff to do. There's no next goal. You're just kind of defending against Germany. You can take over like the northern areas, but just, again, it's a hard country to get through, and it's just a hard country to like sit down and be like, yes, I want to play. Panama, for obvious reasons. Yeah, we got Peru. Yep. The Philippines are actually pretty fun. Philippines, it's very fun to have to fight against Japan, defend against them. Again, it's annoying though. But it is fun to be able to be like that little tiny bulwark island nation, so your big daddy, the U.S., can just chill out. So, yeah, pretty fun, but not the best. I believe you're a South American country. Yeah, all the South American countries are just CBT. It sucks. It sucks playing them, because there's low supply. Low supply is all I have to say. Any African nation, low supply. That's it. Poland is always a fun time. Poland has so many options. You can do a historical defense. You can go communist with the peasant uprising. You can go fascist with a king. You can go a fascist king. You can do... There's even a secret path for them. Poland has it all. Poland's great. You're in a great area of Europe. You have a great access to manpower, some good factory locations, good amount of resources, and you're in a good central area. It is hard to fight the Germans and the Russians, but if you do everything right, you're going to have a great time with them no matter what. Portugal is pretty fun. My main problem with them is that most of they don't really do anything. You can take over Brazil, which is always a fun path. I love that path. You can do a worldwide conquest. You can be very active. You can take over and participate in the Spanish Civil War. But again, you're just not gonna, unless you have a dedicated goal. They're more of a periphery country, and they run out of stuff to do very quick. But overall, pretty fun. Romania, they can be fun. Their problems come from a really short focus tree and lack of manpower. Their focus tree is pretty short, not very much substance to it, and they just run out of manpower really quick for most of their stuff. They're fun, and then they're in a good location, and they have some pretty good conflicts they can tussle with, but they don't have that much going for them. Soviets, I'm gonna put in the pretty fun. The problem with them is that like a lot of their other trees, like they set you back so much that they're not worth it. Like if you want to do anything in the game, you can't take any of the civil wars because it throws you back. It hurts you so much, and it sucks. But they have pretty good potential, and they have a lot of areas they can just go all in. They can do a good navy, they can do a good army, they can have a great air force, they can conquer the entire world, they can go monarchist, stuff like that. But the problem is that it takes a while to do that. They're weak to start off. I hate the Great Purge mechanics because it feels so weird to wrap your mind around. But overall they are pretty fun. They just need some light touch-ups in a couple areas in my opinion, but other than that, they're very fun to play. Spain is actually really hard to rank, right? But I think I'm going to put them at the top of pretty fun. Spain, their main appeal is the Spanish Civil War. That's the main fight. The Spanish Civil War is a great time. The problem comes after the war. After the war, you don't have a lot of focuses to do, and you don't have a lot of territory to expand on. But if you do certain playthroughs, you can have some great room. Their Anarchy path is the most unique and most fun playthrough I've ever done. So I'm gonna have to put them in pretty fun. They're bordering right there. Sweden is gonna go in the can be fun. Again, the problem with Sweden is I just find them boring, right? It takes a while to do anything. You can participate in world events by swaying them. You can support Finland in their war against Russia. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be having a huge influence and there's not a lot to play. Alright, this is going to be just a horrible thing to do. But I had to do it. Switzerland is the only country with a unique focus tree that makes me want to actively chop off both of my arms so that I stop playing this game. In my 2,600 hours of playing Hawaii, I have never encountered a nation as frustrating as them to play, right? Oh, we can actually see right now how many hours. Yep, 2,600. See? I've never encountered a nation that is so bipolar in how you play it. You have to balance act both sides of your government political system so that you can get focus system to do anything. And if you go one direction too far, you're fucked for the rest of the game. It is so boring and frustrating to play. That being said, there is fun potential there. The main problem is that they're designed as a neutral Switzerland, right? It sucks, but there's potential there. It's just you can't really act on it, and it really does suck. Are you Iran? Yeah, you're Iran. Yeah, okay. Or are you Syria? No, you're Iran. Iran can be pretty fun. You have a war with the Soviets in historical, and you can just kind of chill out. You have some pretty good resources, some pretty good neighbors you can just slimily take over, so they're pretty fun. Honestly, they're one of my favorite generic focus tree nations to play. I believe you're Tanatuva. Tanatuva is going at the bottom of annoying. They're pretty fun if you can get an actual fight going with them, but they're just annoying. And they have a cool formable, and they have an achievement. So Turkey, yeah. Again, the problem with Turkey is that you can hardly do anything till 1945. There's just so little to do. And it feels like you're getting somewhere, but it takes so much time to get anything done. And it's sad, actually. The UK is always a great time. I'm going to put them ahead of Germany. The UK, you can go monarchist and do the easy world domination path with the US. You can go interventionist democracy. You can go passive democracy. You can do communist, which you lose all your territory, but you have massive manpower and massive oyster to eat. You can go King William, side with the British. You can go Edward Mosley. There's so much to do. There's a lot that you can do. The problem is that, again, by the late game, you're running out of focuses to get to. And it's always sad that you just have nowhere to go. But they're a great ride there. The US is going to go right behind the British. The US is a great time to play. They're very beginner friendly. They have a couple different paths. I'd say their main weakness is that they really don't have a lot to expand on beyond certain points. Like, it feels like their paths just abruptly end. So that kind of sucks. But they do have really good economics. They have good amount of manpower. They have a lot to do. You get some naval gameplay with Japan, so that can be pretty fun because you have to build up for that. So I would put them up there. They're not as good as Italy or the UK. Honestly, those are going to be their top two. So Venezuela, annoying. They have some good resources and some good manpower. There's just... no, I'm stupid. That's Colombia, isn't that? No, that's Venezuela. What am I saying? Well, I'm saying this is Venezuela. Roast me in the comments. Venezuela, very boring. Not a lot to do, but there's some potential there. Yemen, I'd rather slam my balls in a waffle iron. And Yugoslavia, can be pretty fun. They have some cool achievements. I guess their main problem to me is that they're just very slow to play. They have little manpower, little to do, but overall pretty fun. So this is my final tier list. Top dog is Italy, second is UK, third US, Germany, Bulgaria. Come at me, bro. I don't care. Again, this is my opinion, but if you have anything to add, please leave it in the comments. Like and subscribe so I can feed my gambling addiction. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people pissed at this list. I'm kind of scared to post this on YouTube.